Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Khalid Masood Kareem. In this weekly video tutorial, I will share technical aspects of top volume leaders of the Karachi Stock Exchange. The purpose of this video is only for showing technical aspects and techniques. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell. The Karachi Stock Exchange 100 Index closed at 40,291 level on August 13, 2020. The weekly closing is below the weekly pivot level of 40,328 level. The major weekly resistance and support levels are at 41,550 and 38,461 respectively. Weekend closing resulted in the formation of an inverted hammer at the old consolidation zone and at the median line of the pitchfork indicator. The weekly 14-period ADX indicator is at 26 level and is running flat. These technical findings may lead to sideways behavior at current zone, or it may result in depression. Weekly closing above the resistance level will render these negative technical developments as null and void. It may then attempt to test the overhead resistance zone residing between 43 to 44K. The HASCOL closed at 16.50 level on August 13, 2020. The closing is above the weekly pivot level of 15.33. The weekly resistance and support levels are at 18 and 15.18 respectively. Technically, a bullish breakout from the wide rectangular pattern occurred during previous week. The Unity Foods closed at 13.90 level on August 13, 2020. The closing is at above the weekly pivot level of 13.48. The weekly resistance and support levels are at 14.89 and 11.85 respectively. The stock is at the verge of a mild bullish breakout. The TRG closed at 52.79 level on August 13, 2020. The closing is above the weekly pivot level of 50.21. The weekly resistance and support levels are at 63.90 and 42.90 respectively. Technically, the bullish, trending indicators are losing strength. This weekend closing produced a hammer candle after last week's spinning candle. It appears that the stock is entering into a sideways mode after a 6-week rally. Also keep in mind the resistance and support levels of monthly chart. The World Call Telecom closed at 1.34 level on August 13, 2020. The closing is below the weekly pivot level of 1.39. The weekly resistance and support levels are at 1.65 and 0.85. The technical indicators are suggesting sideways movement. The K Electric closed at 3.83 level on August 13, 2020. The closing and the weekly pivot level of 3.83 are at the same level. The weekly resistance and support levels are at 4.10 and 3.50 respectively. Sideways trading is expected. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.